7 Easy Steps to Crestliner Boat Floor Replacement, a complete guide. Though different Crestliner boats have different designs, the floor replacement procedure is more or less the same. Similar tools are used for floor replacement. So the guide below is a general instruction for boat floor replacement. Going through these steps can help you have a clear idea about the tools you need and the process you need to follow. Let's start learning the steps to Crestliner boat floor replacement. Step 1. Gather the tools. First, you need to have the necessary tools for the replacement procedure. If you accumulate the tools first and then start the work, you can accomplish it faster and in an organized way. Here are the tools you would need for the boat floor replacement. Circular saw, epoxy resin, plywood or wood, or the material you want on the floor, measuring tape, drill machine, fiberglass sheet or mat. Step 2. Prepare for the project. Once you gather the tools, there are a few things that you have to consider. Below are the 3 factors that you need to check and do as part of the preparation for the project. The condition of the transom matters a lot during the replacement. If you are looking for damages on the floor, you should also check the transom, because the damage mainly starts here due to the excess pressure and impact. For checking, put some pressure on the transom. If you hear creaking sounds or if it bends, you should also replace it along with the floor. Stand the boat on a cradle. You can get a ready-made one or build it by yourself. Placing the boat on the cradle makes the boat stable so that you can work conveniently. Next, empty the deck completely to do the work. Take out the machines and belongings to start the project. And you are now ready to start the project. Step 3. Remove the old flooring. When you are replacing the boat flooring, you have to first remove the old flooring. Depending on the flooring you have to use the tools. For cutting through the old flooring, use a circular saw. But make sure that you must determine the depth through which you should cut the floor. Otherwise, you may end up damaging the hull. 5/8 inches an approximate depth you can cut through. In this way, keep dismantling the old floor slowly. Note that you should always keep the old floor as a guide to measure the new floor. This gives you an accurate result if you use the previous floor as a reference. Before moving on to the next step, check for the condition of the foam. You may need to strip it off if it is worn out or damaged. Step 4. Measure and shape the plywood. Measure the length and width of the previous flooring. At the same time, take the measurement of the boat base too to ensure that the measurements are accurate and precise. According to the measurement, decide how many planks of plywood you would need on board. As per that, cut and shape the plywood planks. At the same time, keep placing them on the deck area to see whether the fitting is correct or not. Step 5. Install the plywood planks. Once you have shaped and decided the number of planks needed, you can move to install the new flooring. Before installing the plywood planks, spread a decent amount of epoxy resin on the entire deck. Epoxy resin is used to ensure that there is no water leakage and the deck remains waterproof all the time. After application, wait till it dries out. Now use the drill to make holes for screwing the plywood planks. Take reference from the previous holes and drill accordingly to make it accurate. After drilling, place the plywood or wooden planks on the deck and screw them well into the holes. Make sure to make the placement accurate so that the entire deck is properly covered with the new flooring. Step 6. Install a fiberglass top. Now the base of the deck has been installed, be it the plywood, wood, or vinyl flooring. You can install the flooring you prefer. But on top of the plywood flooring you need to give a fiberglass mat for extra protection and change the look. On the fiberglass mat, use epoxy resin to seal it. However, instead of a fiberglass mat, you may also use foaming on the plywood flooring. Step 7. Redecorate the deck. Once the installation is done and the epoxy resin dries out, you can now install the belongings and machines again on the deck. And the new Crestliner boat floor is ready. Tips to Crestliner boat floor replacement for the best result. Boat floor replacement steps have been mentioned already. But if you want to focus on more detail, you need to go through the tips. I've learned these tips from my work experience and research. The boat floor replacement sounds like an easy task. It needs precision and care. Thus, to make your task easier and simpler, I am mentioning a few tips that would help you get the best outcome possible. On aluminum Crestliner boats, you should never install treated plywood. Plywood treatments require salty substances which can corrode aluminum. Therefore, you should always install marine plywood for the deck to last long and stay intact. For accurate measurement, I always take the previous flooring as a reference. In fact, it can also help you in deciding how narrow the planks should be, how many planks you may need, etc. So don't dispose of the previous flooring before you install the new one. Try not to use carpet flooring on the deck. Carpet flooring is more susceptible to water, causing the growth of mold and mildew. Instead, vinyl flooring is a better option. Always plan the project before starting. You should have ample time in your hands to complete the project. If you start around the fishing season, you are probably not going to finish it on time. So, estimate a duration and work accordingly. I would suggest you take out the boat cap. This gives you easy access to the entire deck, making the process easy and efficient. Consider the reason why you need a boat floor replacement. If it is damaged, you should get better flooring than before, which is waterproof and long-lasting. If you are doing it to change the look, get a flooring that is impressive. Please do think about whether you can do it by yourself or not. You can surely do it, but may need extra time and certain skills. It is truly difficult if you have no experience. In that case, you must consult an expert to do this task efficiently and professionally. Crestliner boat floor replacement can be done easily if you follow the right steps and also keep the tips in mind. With the right tools and expertise, you also can accomplish the boat floor replacement project. So now it is your turn to start your project of replacing the Crestliner boat floor and get ready for the sailing season.